Today, we start the podcast with our first international guest, Darcy. I have to say that I got in touch with her because I read on LinkedIn that she helps leaders to get promoted faster. But after reading a lot about her, I quickly realized why she's an expert on this topic. Her life is full of transitions. These transitions help her to become the best version of herself, and now she's helping leaders to land to their next level role. Welcome, Darcy, and thanks a lot for joining this adventure.
Welcome to She Has a Voice podcast. Stories about women of strength and their journey in tech.
It was very interesting for me, Darcy, when I read about you, that I understood that you are actually specialized in two main topics for coaching, right? The first one, it would be that you help people to find like the best job that they could have. And the second one is also helping people to get promoted. Mm-hmm. And today I wanted to ask you about like how you can get promoted, because I guess that there's a lot of people that we are doing great job. You want to get promoted, but you don't know how to do it.
Thank you. And I'm actually going to speak to this from a female perspective, because females tend to go for promotions a lot less than men. And again, It has to do with that imposter syndrome. So females tend to not go for promotion. And so because of that, females are promoted less often. Wow. But the fact of the matter is we need females in leadership roles. We need females at those board tables to bring that feminine perspective that none of those men in the room can bring, right? And so this is what we do. The first thing I have 8 steps that will the ease and flow of being authentic to who you are, get you promoted. Step 1, we need to figure out who you are. We need to figure out what is strong about you, what makes you so unique. So many women, if you're listening right now and you're like, there's nothing really special. There's nothing really special about me. So many women feel that way. And I'm here to tell you, don't listen to that lie in your head, because nobody in this world has your unique education, knowledge, experiences, talents, and perspective. So don't be somebody that you're not. Be you, authentically you. And then we create that vision. What do you really, really want? Okay. Not what your dad thinks you should do. Not what the industry is telling you because you're afraid that if you do this other thing, you're not going to make enough money to live the life that you want. No, we don't play the fear game. What do you really want? Okay. So I get people very clear on that. The next thing we do to get promoted then is we get feedback. We get feedback from our boss. What does it take? What does it look like to get promoted? So you're not asking for a promotion right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you are definitely saying, hey, you know what I mean? What would it look like? What needs to shift? What needs to change in order for me to move into this position that already with my coach I've designed as part of my vision? Okay. And the next thing we do, no matter what your boss tells you, we also need to do something called promotion awareness. Your boss is probably going to tell you a few things that you could do, but we're going to go even further. And we're going to observe the climate, the cultural climate of your business, organization, company. Okay. And we're really going to figure out who does get promoted. What else are they bringing? What's their personality style? Does this fit me? Is this the right place for me to get promoted? And so we do this promotion awareness thing. And then we figure out, based on your unique set of strengths, how to give more value. And I'm not talking about job performance. The number one mistake people make when they try to get promoted is thinking that it's about performance alone. It's not at all. Wow. I would say there's maybe, if I was pushing it, I would say maybe 70% is promotion or is performance.
Wow.
So I'm going to assume that everybody who's listening right now already does a badass job at whatever their tasks are. They're already great at it. Now what? Okay. And so we need to give more value, but we can't have it feeling more like work because we're in our ease and flow. And so based on what your strengths are, we design together ways that you can add more value to your organization that align with your purpose in life, align with what you value, right? And align with what you're good at. And so you start giving value in ways that, again, it just feels good for you. It doesn't even feel like you're adding more value, but you are. And then we get you noticed organically. And I say organically because, again, this is a natural thing that's going to happen after you add value from your authentic self. We get you noticed. We make sure that, right, we put things in place to ensure that people are like, wow, that was really amazing. I love the way that you, whatever. It just feels good. We don't say, oh, thank you. I was just experimenting and I just thought we don't do that. Females do that kind of stuff all the time, right? We totally brush off all of those compliments that we should be receiving. The next thing we do too, how is it then you start becoming the leader now that you want to be in that promotion? And so becoming that leader, we also need to know, what is your authentic leadership style? What feels so natural and so easy for you that nobody else is bringing? That's the big one right there. And leadership is all about support, and women are so good at support. And that is what leadership is all about. It's no longer about a person at the top commanding the people below them to do certain things. That's not leadership at all. Okay. Because nobody wants to follow that leader. Everybody wants to follow a leader who says, Ellie, you are so good at building relationships. We have this project. Would you be the lead person, please, for doing this X, Y, and Z thing because you're so good at building relationships? That's a leader right there. And you know what happens, Ellie? Yeah, you step into that then position, that leading of building relationships, and you are so excited because, oh my gosh, you love building relationships. This is so much fun. I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. And you're going to be all in. If you want to be promoted, become a leader that supports authentically, because your team underneath you is going to be all in. They will follow you anywhere because they know that you see them. They know that you value them, and they know that you're going to ask of them things that just feel good for them to do. The next thing we're going to do too is we're going to be a maximizer, and we are going to celebrate our colleagues now, not when we get promoted. We're starting now. We're becoming the person that is the person who will be promoted. Mm-hmm. And so we offer quiet support. Again, this is becoming that leader, but we do it now. If somebody, a teammate of yours, is clearly struggling with a task, or their child's sick, whatever it is, we step in and offer that quiet support. And again, it's quiet because we're not going to be boastful. We are not going to be pushing. We are not going to be doing and driving and all of these things.
Exactly. I really like it because it sounds easy and it sounds natural. What you're explaining, these steps, like personally, when I think about getting promoted, I only think about like what I'm doing, what I'm good at, and all the things that I'm doing, but nothing else. And so it's very good that you explain like the 70% and all you need to do and think about it. So, Darcy, what is the most common mistake that we do when we are trying to get promoted?
I think that there's two of them. Okay. The most common mistake is believing it's about performance. And so working harder, driving those numbers higher, getting more sales, getting more done. You know what I mean? And so we're driving, and it's this tense energy, and we're trying so much harder, and we're just working. The next biggest mistake that people make, when they are trying to get promoted is that they compliment their boss in public. Yeah. Right. It's, we have a saying in the US, it's called a brown noser, and I won't go into why it's called that exactly, but we'll keep this nice and clean. But yes, we all know those people, right? They're following the boss around like a puppy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me get that for you. Let me do that. Oh, your tie looks really nice today. And it's this anxious energy about it, right? Mm-hmm. And even those people don't get promoted. And so, yeah, it's that. If you're going to compliment your boss, make it authentic and make it in private so that they know that, look, this isn't about me wanting you to like me. This is about me seeing you as a leader and really appreciating what you're doing. That brings a whole different energy to that. And all of a sudden, that leader, your boss, starts to see you now as an equal. not as someone below them that's following them around. And then the other thing you want to do is you really, and this goes along with that, trying to please the boss thing. Don't compliment them in public, but do make them look good. Okay. So for an example with this, let's say your boss is going to give a presentation and they send you the presentation so that you're the person who like projects it, or you know what I mean, presses start or whatever. And you notice an error. Look through their thing. And if there's an error, correct it, but don't say a word. The boss will know. Trust me, the boss will know, right? And that's about making them look good. Again, if you're waiting for a boss for a meeting and that boss is late and you're sitting across the table from, or, you know, a table from a prospective client or whatever your situation is. Okay. And the boss is late. You don't want to try to connect with the client by saying things like, yeah, she's always late. She's really busy. You don't want to say that at all. Right? You want to make the boss look good. And so when that boss walks in the room, you can say, hi, boss, thank you so much for joining us. I was just explaining to client X that, you know what I mean? And whatever it is that you said to make the boss look good for the reason that they're late to that meeting. But anyway, those are the common mistakes. That's what you ask about.
Thanks a lot. And when it would be a good moment that we start thinking about getting promoted? Is there a specific moment?
Now is the moment you think about getting promoted, right? No, I would say it is when you're feeling these feelings inside. Okay. You start daydreaming about something else. If you're daydreaming about something else, it's time to look for something else, whether that's being promoted or whether that's a career that really aligns with who you are, one that doesn't feel like work at all. So if you start daydreaming, that's your insides telling you, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? You know, listen to that. Another way to start getting promoted is when you get bored. Oh, you're like, and I've been doing this and I know how to do this and nothing feels exciting and I'm not learning anything new. And this is the same old that I've been doing for however long and I'm bored. There are no new challenges and I want more. Or when you're sitting there and you're just like, I can't do this forever. Okay. Another one is Monday morning. If you're just like, or even worse, Sunday night, if you have those Sunday night blues, like, oh, I have to go to work tomorrow, you definitely should start looking for a new challenge or a new career for sure. You're not bringing your best self. And you know what? You only have one life to live.
So good. And what do you do when then your line manager is not supporting you to get promoted? How do you deal with this?
Yeah, no, it's time to go. It's time to either switch departments, right? And then try to get promoted through another department if you are absolutely convinced that the company you're working for is the company you really want to be with. Like you align with their mission and their vision, you align with their core values. And not only that, their core values are evident throughout the company. A lot of companies have core values that you don't even know about because they don't really live them. So if you're absolutely convinced that this is the company you want to work for, switch departments. Yeah, we're never, ever going to go above to your boss's boss ever with a complaint, with a ever, never. Okay. If for some reason you have to bring up a problem, make sure that you also bring up a possible solution for that problem. Never come to anybody above you with just a problem. Okay. But I would actually say too, if you're not convinced that this is the end all, die all company I want to be with forever, it's time to move. The number one reason, Ellie, that people leave their job is not because of the job. It's because of their direct supervisor. So find one that lights you up. Find that person. That's who you want to work for.
And it really makes a difference when you find someone that you get this energy and that you feel supported and that, yeah, there are always difficult times, right? But it's so good when you find this person and that's so powerful.
Yeah. And I bet that your performance is even better, right? Because you're so excited to be working with this person. But here's the great thing, Ellie. Now, too, if it aligns with what you want for your life, it really aligns with that and what your strengths are, then you know the kind of leader that you want to be and step into that role.
Exactly. Maybe it's a stupid question, but is a specific day of the week or moment of the day that it's better to ask for a promotion?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. And here's why I'm going to say yes to that. And this is where females this is where we actually have such a great leg up on our male counterparts. Females have females have a stronger sense of empathy. We're able to read people, right? Because we're much more in tune with microfacial expressions, where emotions are being shown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Communicated, even without knowing it. We're good at this. And so listening to yourself, like, no, today doesn't, she seems a little off today. Like she seems a little stressed today. We'll pick up on that. Men, not so much, right? Men won't pick up on that, and they'll ask for a promotion on a day that's not. How you ask for a promotion, that's a whole other long coaching, that's a whole other coaching conversation. And it really depends on also your strengths, your boss's strengths, right? And so we really need to play to we can't treat everybody the same. Not
Mm-hmm.
you, not your boss, right? We're all unique individual. So we need to present it in such a way that it's win-win for both. But so definitely listen and watch, and you'll know when it's the right time. When your boss seems relaxed, you're going to pick up on that body language, right? Their jaw's not tight, their shoulders aren't up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're just maybe leaning back a little bit. They laugh. On a day that your boss laughs, that's a great day to ask for a promotion. Yes. But again, it's not an ask for a promotion. That seems like such a
yes,
concrete yes or no type of thing. Right. This is a conversation that is playing its way through all of this stuff that we'll be doing together. So this is, again, it's just organically going to be there, so that when you do, I guess, ask for the promotion, it's more like the position comes open and you say, I would love to be considered for this, right? Or it is hey, I've noticed that we have a gap in our efficiency here. And I'm proposing that you allow me to step into that gap, right? And become this thing that might be missing in our organization. So again, it's all about a conversation, right? But it starts early. It starts very early. Doing a great job and then walking into your boss saying, I'm ready for a promotion, is not going to land you that promotion.
And it feels natural, right?
It's natural. That's the thing about it. It's just natural. And you are showing your value over and over and over again, right? So that most of the time, Ellie, I'll be really honest with you, my clients that want to get a promotion, they never get to the point of asking before the promotion is given.
Oh, and why is that? Why are we, in general, women are afraid of asking for a promotion?
We think we're not good enough. Absolutely, 100%. We have, women in general but in general, women tend to have imposter syndrome. We think that we aren't good enough. We have these stories in our head that say, oh yeah, but I didn't get this one client. You know what I mean? Or, oh yeah, but I messed up on that one report and everybody's going to remember that. And, oh yeah, what if I go for a promotion, I don't get it, I'm going to be publicly, that's going to be so embarrassing. And how am I, and it all comes from confidence, and it all just comes from confidence. Say what's on your mind, right? Without being afraid of how other people are going to respond, because how people respond is a direct reflection of who they are and has nothing to do with you.
Oh,
so don't be afraid of responses, and you can't change them. So just be you.
So Darcy, we're talking that there are our strategy, right, of communicating, and also how we get, how we ask for getting a promotion is different. But do you have any tip for women on how we should ask, or the steps that we should take as female to ask to get promotion?
So one, you got to start here. You have to start with giving yourself permission to show up as the badass woman that you are at work, and stop trying to be the same as the other people, the other females, even in your workplace. Show up as who you are, for all the good, for all the bad. This is me. Next, make sure you're taking credit for what you do well. When someone compliments you, don't brush it off with an excuse or don't minimize it. It's like that whole thing when somebody's like, "Oh, you look really nice." You're like, "Oh, really? I just pulled this out of my closet." So when someone says, even if you're absolutely so embarrassed because there was a spelling mistake or something on your presentation, and somebody says to you, "Ellie, great presentation." The last thing you want to do is say, "Yeah, thank you so much. I just really wish I was so embarrassed when that spelling error showed up." Because again, what that's saying is that you're not confident in what you do. So instead, when somebody says, "Ellie, you know what I mean? Great presentation," say, "Thank you. I worked really hard on that." And the other thing is that don't forget that you have something that all the men in the room don't have. You have a very certain perspective on the world. You have gifts and talents. And if you don't know what those are, you definitely need to contact me. You need to walk through this world knowing your value and knowing your worth. Okay. You have all of these unique things that make you, you. So speak your mind in a boardroom, or definitely don't use words like, "Well, I think that sounds really passive." Just say it. Be like, a creative solution to this could be if we, and then you say whatever it is. I have some other ones. Find your passion.
Oh, good
If
one.
you're living in your passion, if you're living your purpose in your passion, this is not going to be hard for you. If you are passionate about what you do, and I don't mean fake passion, we're not faking it till we're making it. That is the worst advice anybody has ever given anyone. Do not fake it until you make it. Be you. Live your passion.
And talking about working with you, so I know you in your website, you offer this 30-minute call. How does it work working with you?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. My website is darcydunker.com, and there's a button that you can click. And when you click that button, there's several buttons. You just click it and it brings up a scheduling thing where you can pick a time that best works for you. I get notified. You get notified. We show up together on Zoom like this, and this podcast has been all about me. That conversation will be all about you. And it's gentle and it's fun and it's lighthearted. And you are going to come away like, "Wow, I didn't even know I was good at that." But we're going to talk about, what are your goals? What's working for you? What's not working for you? Like, if you could really dream, what would that look like? And if you show up and you're like, "I don't know. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. All I know is I'm unhappy right now. And it's showing up in other areas of my life. I'm unhappy with my job. I'm unhappy with my home life." That type of thing, then
Mm-hmm.
that's where we start this conversation. It's gentle, it's ease and flow, and it's all about, where are you now? Where do you want to be? And how can we get you there?
How many sessions do you need, or like the average sessions you need to reach your goal?
I would say I work with people typically for 3 months. So
Okay.
typically 3 months is what it takes.
Darcy, your life is full of transitions. You change your work. You have changed in universities as well. And actually, you were a math teacher. So, and on top of that, you have lived in very different countries. So what triggered these changes for you?
That's a great question. I think that what triggered those changes for me is that I'm like most people, and that I live my life completely, or did, by default rather than by design. And so, for example, when I changed universities, it was because I had a professor. I was a computer programming major, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a professor who was like, "Oh my gosh, Darcy, you're really, really good at economics. Like, you're really good at math and really good at numbers. Like, you should consider changing." And I was so happy that somebody saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, that I went for it. And so I got a degree in economics. And then, I was working at one place, and a woman came in and she said, "Oh, you have such a great voice and such a great personality. You should come work at the radio station with me." And so I said, "Okay." And then, this kept happening. And then somebody else from the radio station who I interviewed said, "My tech company is hiring and we would love to have you. And so I said, "Okay." And so all of these things just kept happening to me,
Mm-hmm.
rather than me stopping and saying, "Yeah, but what do I want? What does my vision of the future look like?" I was just barely one step ahead of the day that I was at. I hadn't created a clear vision of what was going to make me the happiest in this world. And so then I get later in life in my 40s and my 30s, and I realized I was a math teacher then. I realized I'm like, yeah, but this can't be all there is. I've been working so hard my whole life, and that's because I was really trying to be something that I wasn't. I worked so hard my whole life and nothing felt good. My work didn't bring me joy. And so I took the time to stop and say, hey, what do I really want? What am I really good at? What feels easy and good for me? What is my purpose? What does that look like? What skills do I have? And so really putting all of that together to design a career that is best fit for me. And I love it.
How do you use these learnings about transitions, changes for you as a coach?
I think for me, I'm able to bring to my clients who are going through a transition, maybe one that they want or one that they didn't want, right?
Okay.
So they have these transitions and it really brings this sense of groundedness. Like, no, it's going to be okay. This is going to be okay. I have years of experience behind me to show me that transitions are just opportunities. They're opportunities. They're doors that open or doors that close for us to walk through to figure out, wow, this is who I am and this is where I shine. And so really being able to help my clients remain positive about the transitions that they're either seeking or that they're going through, not by choice.
Before recording this interview, you were telling me that most of us are afraid of failing, right?
Yes.
And that going through it and learning from it can really help us just like to build the next step and to be in a better position. How did you learn this and how do you use this in your daily life?
Yeah, transitions alone, whether you want them or they found you, transitions alone are really freaking scary because we don't know what's on the other side of it. We can't see it yet. We can't see into the future. But again, that's an attitude of living your life by default. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to me. And instead, I empower my clients. I empower them to use the strengths, to use what's already strong within them to create what they want on the other side of that transition. And that alone makes it not scary anymore. When a person feels like, no, I am in control. What do I want? Right? I'm going to create exactly what I want, which is why I tell people all the time, success is about creating it. It's not about being lucky that you got a break. It's nothing like that. It's about creating what you want. But first, you got to believe that you have the power to do that. And that's what I do with my clients.
And how did you realize that you wanted to help people like your clients? And how did you realize that you wanted to become a coach?
How I learned that I wanted to become a coach is that after being that math teacher and just having done all of these different things and still feeling like there was something bigger inside of me. Like, I knew that there was something more that I was meant to do, but I didn't know what it was. And so again, I actually hired my own coach, hiring a coach and just really figuring out, what is it that I am meant to do? What's my purpose? Because when you're living your purpose, that is where the magic happens. That is where you become wildly successful doing things that feel really good for you. But so many people live their life banging their head against the wall. Life feels like a battle constantly. Battle to get the relationship you want. Battle to live where you want. Battle to do the job that you want. Battle, battle, battle. And it shouldn't be like that, especially as a woman.
Sounds easy. That's good. But yeah, you're right. Like that, I also feel sometimes that we are living by default, like just follow what it comes, not thinking about what we want, where we want to go. And sometimes.
I wanted to add something to that too. Like, I love working with females because, I like working with males too. That's great. But females oftentimes we tend to be, because we have this innate desire inside of us to be nurturers, right? And I'm not talking you need to be a mom. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you see someone at work that is kind of down and you don't know why, you know what I mean? Females tend to be the ones that ask, hey, are you doing okay? We just have this desire within But what ends up happening is females then become people pleasers, and they're pleasing other people before they're pleasing themselves. And they also have this thing about imposter syndrome, right? Where they actually don't think they're good enough. No, I'm not. I couldn't do that. Like, what if I fail? Like, what if I'm not even good with words, or no, I'm not really, you know what I mean? And so we have all of these doubts that play in our mind. And so I absolutely love working with females and empowering them with absolute confidence by focusing on what is strong within them. I get so excited, Ellie, because it's the best thing that I could ever be doing with my life, is helping other females get exactly what they want in life and live the powerful life that they were meant to live.
I think that we will have more episodes with you, Darcy, about like how to negotiate salary, like so many things. Thanks a lot. I have kind of like the final round of questions.
Okay.
What is your passion?
Well, I'm going to read it to you. It's my purpose statement.
Oh, perfect.
And yeah, I'm going to read this to you. And the words are what resonate for me. So they may not resonate with other people. And I don't know if you noticed, I just pulled the sticky note right off. Yeah. I keep it right here by my desk, right? This is my purpose. And I'm always asking myself, does this decision align with my purpose? I want to illuminate the unique power and confidence in myself and others and inspire positive change. That is my passion.
What is success for you?
Success for me is this. If I can help other people know who they are and the value that they bring to this world and instill that confidence, that right there, I'm living my success. I'm loving it.
A woman who inspires you or who inspired you in the past?
You know, a good question too. And so this woman doesn't have a name, but she has a profile. So let me tell you about this woman. This woman is a woman that she doesn't know what she's good at. She doesn't know what value she brings to this world. She's been hurt. She's been embarrassed. She is defeated. And yet every single day she wakes up and she keeps trying. And every single day she goes to bed asking herself, well, what am I going to do different? That right there is a woman who inspires me.
Wow. It could be so many of us. Could you explain us about a goal that you have? Kind of like, midterm, long term, something that you want to achieve.
Oh, a goal. Yes. Okay. I have this, I'm going to say a dream, but it's not a dream because it's got a deadline, which makes it a goal. I really want to hold an in-person retreat for professional females who want to be wildly successful while living in their ease and flow. Most of my work right now is online and in Zoom. I want to hold something big, something with a lot of women who come together and we feel that energy of being together and really asking and figuring out, how am I going to be the most wildly successful person while living so authentically?
Looking forward to see this coming true.
Thank you.
And last question, what advice you would give yourself as a child?
Oh, that's a really good one. Be unapologetically authentic.
So thanks a lot, Darcy. It was an absolute pleasure. I know that a lot of people will be really interested to hear what you experienced.
Thank you so much, Ellie. This was an honor and a joy. So thank you.
Thanks a lot. I hope you liked this episode with Darcy and the first episode in English. Now we know a lot of tips on how to get promoted and also how to create our own success. In case you like this episode, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Ciao.